Rahul Gandhi disqualified as a member of parliament. Shehzad Poonawalla, to you first. Obviously, the BJP is going to welcome it. But politically, do you believe this, this is something that is healthy? Because if members of parliament are going to be disqualified as lower courts pronounce judgments, this will affect not just the Congress, but even other parties, including the party you represent, maybe somewhere down the line. Your first thoughts, Shehzad, on what's happened?
Barkha, if I were to take your statement and reverse it, is it unhealthy if a person is convicted by a court of law for violating a law? So, are you saying that the application and the implication of a law, of a statute in our country, just because it happens to be a member of a dynasty, suddenly makes democracy unhealthy? Otherwise, had the law applied on any other commoner, would that have been healthy? And because it's Rahul Gandhi, it becomes unhealthy. So, I think this kind of, separate implications for separate tribes of people should be avoided from. I am very sorry that Rahul Gandhi has beaten Sanjay Jha to becoming disqualified in one sense. Sanjay still remains suspended. Rahul is disqualified. But it has happened because of his own kartoot or own karma, if I would put it. Let me explain to you. The law is very clear. And after the Lily Thomas judgment of 2013, anybody who's convicted for 2 years or above stands to lose his membership immediately on conviction. There was no stay on the conviction. There was a stay on the sentencing for him to secure bail, and that was the legal proceeding stand. At 2018, the Supreme Court has reiterated in another separate matter, but on the similar issue, that the conviction, until it is stayed, the member stands disqualified. The law has kicked in. It is a fait accompli in that sense. And therefore, Rahul Gandhi has to now pay the price for his actions. And look, Rahul Gandhi is a serial offender. He's an habitual offender. He had to apologize to the Supreme Court for his statements on Rafale. He's made many statements which are disparaging and that can potentially cause a lot of hurt to a lot of communities. He said, "Mandir jane wale ladkiyon ko chhedte hain." He's made statements which are fast and loose about other communities. And therefore, today, the statement he's made, somebody felt aggrieved. They channelized their energies to a legal case. The legal conviction was sought. I think there is nothing for the Congress to complain and say it's end of democracy. A court is certainly not playing in favor of one or the other side. When the court gives a verdict that you like, the courts are fine. When you win an election, the election commission is fine. This conditional commitment to constitution and democracy is not something Baba Saheb Ambedkar had thought about. And in fact, Sanjay Jha, on behalf of the Congress, must apologize to the OBC Samaj, who have been gravely defamed by the irresponsible statements of a person who is known to making such statements.
I'll bring in Sanjay in just a moment, but let me just ask you a follow-up question, Shehzad. Politically, you've explained the legal position, and you're absolutely right. The law is in fact so clear that Congress members who are lawyers were actually forecasting this disqualification since yesterday. Politically, what is the impact of this? You're seeing these pictures of the Congress taking out these big banners saying democracy in danger. Politically, how do you see this play out in an immediate way? We've got a next election coming up in Karnataka. Does the voter care about this disqualification or not, you think?
Look, there are two political implications I draw from this. One, that Rahul Gandhi is a fast declining political entity, and that we have seen after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the first set of elections in the northeast, of whose gamcha I'm wearing, of Assam actually, but in the other states of northeast, the Congress party, in an area which they would consider their dominant belt with the minorities and tribals, got absolutely wiped out. So Rahul Gandhi was anyways a political entity that nobody takes seriously. Not even the Janta, forget Janta, even his own people, like for instance Mamta Banerjee, who would be perhaps somebody who ideologically associates with him, doesn't take him seriously. Akhilesh Yadav doesn't take him seriously. BRS doesn't take him seriously. Now, the second political implication, Barkha, is this, that you remember the ordinance that was torn, and I remember back then you had analyzed it in great depth. Well, you tore up an ordinance that would send anybody who is convicted for 2 years and above to jail, but yet you don't have the morality that when you yourself get convicted, you should resign. Why did you wait for the law to kick in? If Rahul Gandhi was such a high standard of morality and ethics that he tries to portray he is, then he should have resigned on his own last evening. He should have said that, look, I've been convicted by a court of law, I accept it in all humility and I resign. Instead, it is the law that has kicked in and has disqualified him, and therefore whatever little political capital was left, it is gone. But can I just give you one incident, one narration? A journalist told me in Allahabad University there was a छात्र नेता, एक छात्र नेता थे, तो वो बड़े मतलब उनकी तनातनी हो गई प्रशासन से. तो जब प्रशासन से तनातनी हो गई तो all his friends advised him कि आप आमरण अनशन पर चले जाओ. तो he went on a fast and to death. Now the problem is nobody from the university approached him कि आप fast खत्म करो. And 6 days passed, 7 days passed, 8 days passed. Nobody was coming and telling him, Netaji, aap fast todo. I think Rahul Gandhi has become like that Chhatra Neta of Allahabad University. The credit of this story goes to the journalist who said this to me.
Okay, let me now open this up. Sanjay Jha, let's bring you in. Has there been a series of own goals that have undone Rahul Gandhi's sort of attempt to repair his reputation through the Bharat Jodo Yatra? The comments on democracy made outside the shores of India can't see the advantage for him. We've debated that before. Even if you think there's no disadvantage, there's no advantage either. Hence, why take the risk? Shehzad Poonawalla makes the very interesting argument that Rahul Gandhi could have simply resigned. He could have resigned in the immediate aftermath of this judgment. Instead, typically the party is saying one thing, Rahul Gandhi is suggesting another thing, Rahul Gandhi wants to take it on politically, Abhishek Singhvi is saying we're going to appeal this, and you lose. You lose even the opportunity to make a political point till it's too late. Now you've been thrown out as opposed to you're seizing the moment. Comments, please, Sanjay Jha.
Barkha, first and foremost, and this is why we need to start this conversation by saying what exactly has he been accused of. In his campaign, he talked about political corruption close to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He talked about Lalit Modi, he talked about Nirav Modi and the Prime Minister Modi's connection. Now, I'm not going to comment on, because Abhishek has already given a press conference, he's waxed eloquent on what the Congress party will do. But look at the politics and the way it's going to play out. In my opinion, and I'm being very frank with you, this is a further manifestation of the panic within the BJP. Now, I'll give you one hard truth. The BJP tries to spin the narrative that they need Rahul Gandhi to keep Narendra Modi ahead of the pack. Let me tell you, politics is fluid. No leader is the same what he was 6 months ago or a year or 2 years ago. Rahul Gandhi today, especially post Bharat Jodo Yatra, has got under the skin of Narendra Modi.
But this has come from a court. But this has come from a court, not the government.
Yeah,
This verdict has come from a judge, not from the government of India, not from the Modi government.
Barkha, just let me make my point. I said after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the BJP is anxious and worried because Mr. Poonawalla may not be an elected leader, but I can tell you Narendra Modi has sharp political instincts and he can sense when the mood is changing. That's why the panic. Look at Rahul Gandhi in London. We debated it on your show. He said nothing wrong, right? They're like, apologize, we won't let you speak in parliament. Then you have a court verdict yesterday. I'm not going to comment on what is the nature behind the verdict. Abhishek has already hinted at what the Congress suspects. But the larger point, the BJP, look at their desperation, Barkha. Here is a man who's been given 30 days by the court to appeal, but the BJP is in a great hurry to not even allow him.
Where is the BJP in this? Tell me, just tell me, where is the BJP? This is a court and this is parliamentary procedure. I know you want to make a political point, but you've got to tell me, and I've seen Shehzad's hand also go up, where is the BJP in this?
Okay, let me tell you where is the BJP. The BJP is really, in my opinion, the central character. Here is a party that is not able to take the heat generated on the Gautam Adani issue, linking it to Narendra Modi. Number two, and I'm not going to make my own personal comments, at Rahul Gandhi bringing in the Modis, Nirav, Lalit, and Narendra, is again another example of the political crony capitalism involving the Prime Minister of India and therefore corruption. Point number three, on London, if you look at the barrage of BJP leaders who went after Rahul, it clearly showed you that the party is knowing something that we don't, and something probably which will come up hopefully in the Karnataka election. No, but point number four, this is eventually an anti-democratic dictatorial party. This is a Narendra Modi government that is so anxious to make Rahul Gandhi their target that actually I'll tell you why it's going to be advantage Congress. You can save this program. Rahul Gandhi now becomes not anything but the agenda of Indian politics. You can't ignore him since September after Bharat.
Okay, let me
and now hereafter for the next 6 months. Advantage Congress.
Quickly from Shehzad, before we open this up for Yashwant and Rashid, who've been waiting very patiently, do go ahead, Shehzad Poonawalla.
First of all, Sanjay Jha, I mean, if he should have some legal understanding of the issue. The sentence was stayed. It was the suspension of the sentence, not the conviction. He got a sentencing state so that he can apply for bail and apply against this. That doesn't mean that he is rid from the disqualification that kicks in on conviction, which has not been stayed.